think it is bad stop, and I want to see the rematch in the future.
Stop the fight after the bell. So the bell went, then they stopped the fight. So yeah, I think we might just go and appeal it, because this doesn't make any sense, right? No. Like if the bell goes and then stop the fight, then why? You know, it's like then it's my time to rest.
The disputed finish in the Usyk-Rico showdown has ignited major discussion throughout the boxing community, placing Alexander Usyk directly under the spotlight. Reports suggest that Turki Alalshikh voiced concerns about the referee's call, and now the possibility of a rematch is gaining serious traction.
I get Rico 4 points more.
How did you have it? Rico,
but you know, Usyk was, to be clear, Usyk was knocking him out. But I want to see one round more.
The boxing world is buzzing after the controversial outcome, with everyone weighing in from different angles. Building on the reaction, Chris Manx noted that Usyk faced brief trouble in the early moments, but gradually seized command, dropping Rico with a sharp uppercut. He also pointed out lingering confusion regarding recovery time, and mentioned that the referee intervened while punches were still actively being exchanged.
I think Usyk looked flummoxed at times by the awkward style of Rico Verhoeven. So now you get into the 11th round, and you saw in the 11th, Usyk turned on the jets, went for the stoppage, and got a big knockdown. A short uppercut put Rico down in the corner, and that's when all hell kind of broke loose, where Rico gets up, he has his mouthpiece out, the referee gives him an eternity to go to his corner, get the mouthpiece back in, and get the fight started. If you clocked it, it was more than 10 extra seconds, maybe 15 seconds that Rico had to recover. And it still wasn't recovered. So Usyk pounces on him and starts throwing combinations. The referee was watching that very closely, clearly. The referee stops the fight. Now, he stopped the fight, to my eyes and to my ears, after the bell rang. Usyk was teeing off, he was throwing punches, he had Rico in a tremendous amount of trouble, but he stopped the fight after the bell rang.
Chris Manx continued his critique by stating that the stoppage felt premature, insisting that Rico had shown enough resilience to justify being allowed to fight on. He emphasized that in heavyweight championship bouts, momentum can swing quickly, and even hurt fighters remain capable of turning the tide.
Given how well Rico was performing up until that point, would have been to allow the fight to continue. Now, if you want to make the argument that Rico would have gotten stopped early in the 12th round, fine, whatever. But 2 heavyweight titles were on the line in that fight. Rico had fought extremely well up until that point. You've got to give the fighter a chance. You've got to give Rico Verhoeven the opportunity to recover in his corner, survive the 12th, and send this fight to a decision. I thought the decision to stop the fight by Mark Lyons was awful. Just awful. The whole sequence there, where he gave Rico extra time, that was bad. The stoppage was awful.
That ending bell had already sounded before the referee stepped in. He maintained that Rico should have received the full minute of rest in his corner before the next round resumed.
Bell had already gone before he waved it off, so he stopped it in Rico's rest time anyway, so that shouldn't happen. I thought the stoppage was premature, to be honest. You know, what can I say? It's done. But when you're fighting for the world title and your man's put such a good performance up and he's in the fight, okay, he gets put down, but he gets back up. And he was missing, and he's firing his shot. He tried to fire back as well. So the bell's gone, and then he decides to stop it. He's on his feet, so he should have been let walk back. He's got a whole minute to gather himself, and that's my job in the corner, to get him back round and tell him what to do in the 12th round. But obviously we didn't get there. But it is what it is.
Peter Fury further stated that Rico was still standing, alert, and responding in the moment, calling the decision a clear misjudgment, considering how competitive the fight was at that point.
Sure, Mark Lyson's a nice guy and he does everything properly. We're all human. He's probably just made an error there. But it was definitely a premature stoppage because it was the end of the round. He's got a full minute to recover and he's on his feet. You know, so yes, it's a very poor stoppage, especially when he was in the fight.
Ariel Helwani suggested that the stoppage may have taken place after the bell, noting that even slow-motion replays made the timing look off. He argued that multiple replay angles only deepened the controversy surrounding the referee's call.
Fight is stopped with 1 second left in the 11th round. But in reality, if you actually watch it, and I've watched every single video, every single angle, it was seconds after the 11th round was over. Ding, ding, ding. And then it stopped. And it wasn't like, oh, stopped in between rounds. No. It was stopped maybe because the ref didn't hear it, or maybe because he's incompetent. I don't know. Mark Lyson is his name. It was an absolute awful stoppage.
Ariel Helwani also highlighted that the judges' scorecards were extremely tight entering the 11th round, meaning Rico was still well within striking distance. He stressed that the knockdown served as the pivotal moment rather than a sign of total decline.
You know, they showed us the scorecards. 2 judges had it tied going into the 11th. Would have been a 10-8 round. 1 judge had Rico up. In the end, he would have gotten robbed by the scorecards. I had him up like 3-4 rounds. He fought a brilliant fight. A beautiful fight against Alexander Usyk. He was way more aggressive than he usually is in kickboxing. He looked poised, composed, technical.
From another viewpoint, Johnny Nelson believed the stoppage was unnecessary, suggesting Rico wasn't given a real opportunity to recover or make it back to his corner. He felt the fight still carried enough competitive energy to continue.
Should it have been stopped? In my opinion, no. I think the 10-second clatter went at 2 minutes 50 seconds in. It was announced at 2 minutes 51 seconds the fight was stopped. The referee, I don't think he gave Rico enough chance to at least get to the corner, get to the end of the round and see what he was like when he came out. I think it was well stacked in Usyk's favour because, like everybody else, we expected him to get the job done. So we're more or less looking at Usyk rather than looking at Rico. Rico did an absolutely brilliant job. He should be well proud of himself. Will he get a rematch? I think he should. I think the right thing should be done, and I think if Usyk fights him again, Usyk will beat him, but it'll be on points. He won't knock this guy out because now they both know what to expect.
Expanding on that theme, Stephen Edwards challenged the notion that Rico was fully dictating the action, arguing instead that Usyk's late pressure and championship poise had already begun shifting.